Welcome back to the Fourth Estate Militia Actual Play. Closer and closer they get to their beloved treehouse. Juliet, however, decides to take a more roundabout way that involves duct tape and frag grenades. Improv, Kennel, and Horatio finish cleaning human spine off of the big troll's boots before deciding to go for a little drive. It's time to begin episode 90. Like, if you got murdered, we wouldn't give up.
Juliet, back to you. You just rounded the corner. They fired off some shots. You hear people yelling, like, saw someone. They ran over there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
She keeps running. Well, rather, keeps running for maybe, I don't know, until she hits another corner and then starts trying to be more stealthy.
Okay. What's your movement speed?
Is 40 meters well spread.
40 meters?
It says 2040. I'm assuming that's in meters.
Yeah, it is. I just wanted to make sure I heard 40 right.
Yep. She's got 10 agility.
So yeah, you're able to make it to another corner, duck around it. After probably 6 seconds or so, you see a couple of them peek around the corner. One guy looks down over the window. They're glancing around looking for you. Another beat-up Ford Americar, painted in Spider's colors, comes driving by the street where you just ran from.
Time to tiptoe off to the south. Well, toward the next lieutenant, that is.
Okay, make me a sneaking check.
Mm-hmm. 5 hits.
You have a couple of close calls here or there. A couple more like Americars or two Americars and a Xinjiang drive past you as you're just about to make your way across the street here or there. As you're walking through here, you guys have kind of got used to there's a significant amount of foot traffic normally, or at least as squatters around in this area. The streets outside of the spiders are essentially empty. Same with the surrounding buildings, like I said before. There just doesn't appear like it just seems like once the spiders show, they ditched.
I mean, that's fair. I'd probably do the same.
So is Juliet passing any groups of people on foot?
You'll pass like one or two every now and then. Like is dead, and there's not nearly as much foot traffic. There is the occasional person just kind of walking around,
ones and
or
two,
at least hunkering down or running to a bolt hole or something.
Ones and twos. Are there any ones of the spiders that she goes by that are not at the moment in line of sight of anybody else?
Outside of the cars, there doesn't appear to be, no.
Okay. What's the smallest group she ends up going near?
There's a group of 4 that's kind of posted along one of the more main streets. One of the ones that the corporation that has been paying you has been using.
Usual question, how closely grouped are they?
Again, they're staying fairly close together, within 4 to 6 meters at most.
Wonderful. She is going to measure out the distance, probably say 20 meters away. Be at a corner, duct tape a pair of grenades in one hand. Is there going to be a negative for trying to lob 2 grenades stuck together?
I will say it's a -2.
In that case, she's going to be, with 20 meters is within short range, so no negative there. Wonderful. Yeah. Hopefully they're all looking toward the treehouse.
Most of them actually appear to be watching the road.
Okay, so as long as she's not on the road or away from the road, she's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you happy with that amount of successes?
I mean, it's a lot of damage anyway, and it's what, a 4-meter move away from her dead?
It's hits minus 1d6, I believe. I've had to use it so much this campaign, I've kind of got a pretty decent handle on it.
I'm trying to figure out how much damage fall off there would be, because they're actually a pretty decent damage fall off for frag grenades.
So it's only going to scatter 2 meters.
Yeah, it's fine. We're good. 2 meters is acceptable.
Well, I don't have any frag grenades on my sheet, but I know the high explosives are -2 per meter.
Fragmentation
Frags,
1,
yeah, frags are -1 per.
which
So
is fine.
it bounces like off into the storm drain that's filled with trash and debris beside them. You're still going to catch all of them.
Excellent.
What's the damage
27p AP plus 5.
for 2 grenades?
Yeah, they're 18p apiece. If you've had
I thought they were 16. Jeez, frag grenades are terrifying.
16p is a high explosive, and yes, they are. This is why Juliet has them.
Should have been rolling 4 more dice, but it's still not going to matter. Yeah, they explode into paste.
And we're off again.
Yeah, and after another second or two, you notice the longer that you've sat in this area, the more frequently cars and the occasional like group of motorcycles are driving by. You get the feeling that they're really searching for you. They're trying to narrow down wherever you are.
Yeah, she's making a beeline over to the opposite side with the lieutenant, and no more breaks unless she can find a single person, which is
Now, do you want to go to where the lieutenant was, that Improv had traced, or the other sergeant?
the rest of the. Actually, she should check. Boys, and Sledge, whatever. Are you all going to kill that lieutenant that you spotted with the comlink shenanigans, or? If you're not killing her, I will.
I think I saw some spines stick out.
Hmm?
Like Kennel did some kung fu trick. I don't think he's getting up.
Yeah, you wanted to kill the Watcher, I get it. But the lieutenant, the one that was traced by Improv?
Yeah,
That's far
We gotta
away.
find that one.
we were talking about driving down there, but I don't know. I mean, I'm still cleaning this guy's spine off of my boots right now.
And that's not going to save our boys. Like, if you got murdered, we wouldn't give up. These guys aren't going to stop just because we murder some lieutenant.
All right, I'll call both of them myself. So Juliet is going to go after the one that's closer, the lieutenant that Kennel first ID'd, and then she's going to turn around and make a beeline for the one that's 5 blocks away.
Okay, so you're going for the sergeant and then
First.
the lieutenant. Okay.
Correct.
All right, so you made it to, because you kept having to run south, you made it to about halfway to where the lieutenant was, and curving back up, as you begin going more northward back towards the treehouse, the search party kind of dies off fairly quickly. It only looks like they were staying within a block or two of where you were, and you're able to make it back. I'm not going to make you roll sneaking again. You're kind of blowing that out of the water right now. You're able to get again within about 30 meters or so back to where you would have to expose yourself before being able to actually hit him.
Okay, so what's the story? What does he look like? Who's he around?
This guy is actually an elf, whereas most of the people that you've seen have been humans,
Oh.
with the occasional dwarf or orc. And this guy, he's got a partial cyber skull. The top left side of his face is just gone, and like just the entire top left of his head is gone and just replaced with a metal slab that goes over top. He's got a spiked mohawk. It's not pink, but it's a weirdly enough, it's a bright brown. It almost looks like a it's a bright brown, but it's actually glowing. Weirdly enough, might be fiber optic. It's a decent little guess. And he himself, again, he appears to kind of be directing his guys around, like, "Hey, watch this. Whenever we get going, you need to hit here." Just appears to be spreading his guys out, giving them orders, refining certain things, telling them to get back in cover, keep their heads down, that sort of deal.
How many guys are around him at any given time?
He's never alone.
Makes sense.
He's actually standing by a very heavily armored phoenix, and that he's just standing beside. And he, from what you can tell, there appears to at least be three guys who seem to be specifically just sticking with him.
Okay. Do the groups he's commanding ever walk up to him?
There'll be one or two occasionally who will walk up to him and then will kind of run off after he gives them an order or something.
Okay. Are his 3 bodyguards looking in all directions? Any direction he's not, that is?
None of them are looking towards the treehouse. They are all looking either in your direction or like off to the side.
Gotcha. Okay. Would it be remotely feasible to loop around to the treehouse side? And is he actually looking toward the treehouse?
You could try to sneak towards the treehouse, but it would require you completely crossing the spider's line.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Are there any decent vantage points from which, that she can have a clear line of sight to this guy, to the back of his head, and then disappear behind a...
From the treehouse? Maybe.
From where she is right now. Can she go, I don't know, even up to, let me double check.
You'd probably have to go 2 to 3 blocks away for that to be the case.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. She can go up to 150 meters. Anywhere up to 150 meters back.
Well, even then, you'd still probably need a sporting rifle or something to be able to hit him. With those, you'd be looking at long range.
Her AK-97, medium range is 26 to 150 meters.
Okay, what's the long range on it?
151 to 350.
What's extreme?
351 to 550. According to Chummer.
Yeah, you'd be able to do it at extreme range. You might be able to hit.
Okay. So to get a clear shot, she'd need extreme.
Yeah. And that's just to get a view of him. Because you have to get up and above everything, and you have to go up one of the hills that's pretty far off.
That's fine. What is... Let's engage a long shot with sprinting. Cut to other people. I need to double check.
Okay. Yeah. What are the other 3 of you guys doing? Well, again, Juliet seems to be going on her Rambo run. Is there anything you want to do? You want to try to get in touch with anybody? Talk to your snipers, give them ideas of what to be doing? Do you just want them to stay bunkered down, giving out information like they still are?
I think that sounds good for the snipers to allow them to keep doing what they're doing. They're passing intel to the ground troops, so they know who's moving where and when.
We need to find a way to get into the treehouse.
Is anybody passing information along the matrix? I mean, I know that the snipers were told, they always go dark because of Trey's icon. But they would be passing something over the microtransceivers to somebody else. So was anybody maintaining an AR, a map we could access? I'm trying to think of any way that we have collated information to come up with a better plan to physically get into the treehouse should we decide to go that way.
Juliet, do you have any sort of noise reduction or anything?
Yes.
Okay, how much?
Let's see. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, plus whatever she has from her comlink, which I think is rating 4 at the moment. Let me double check.
Well, what one do you have?
Avalon. Transys Avalon.
That's a 7. So okay.
Yeah, we're
so
fine.
you would have been when you got within 30 meters, you were actually getting a fair bit of noise. That's
of the
not
lieutenant?
When you got within close to the spider's line.
Okay.
Yeah, you were dealing with a fair bit of noise.
Hmm.
So as far as on the inside, up to you guys, seems to have been luck or either luck or just that they were able to connect to Improv for whatever reason in order to be able to contact you. The red wires, you don't seem to be getting any sort of matrix traffic outside of what's going over the microtransceivers.
Is there any way to locate where a jammer might be operating? I don't know with Matrix how much you can triangulate on it. I know that in standard radio communications you actually can, because you do the full swing to the left until you start getting signal again, swing to the right, and then you bisect the angle, and you have a general line of where.
If you had Fresnel fabric, you could probably do that. But don't think any of you, or the mirrored or whatever it is, whatever
Yeah, that's the Fresnel
armor
fabric.
thing. Yeah. Yeah, if you had that, you'd be able to do it, but I don't think any of you have that. Short of that, you would have to be walking up and down along this area to locate it, just figuring out, like, oh, my matrix connection's better here. It's worse now. Okay, that's.
Okay, now this is a stretch, and I admit it's a stretch. I do have the increased hearing spectrum cyberware. Can I pick up the whine of a jammer, that super, super high pitched tone that tends to come out?
You could for like an ultrasound or white noise generator, but for radio signals, not really.
Stupid future
Ra-
jammers.
if you could see radio waves, sure, no big deal whatsoever. But I don't think you can see radio waves.
So as it stands now, to lightly recap, we are parked to the south of the treehouse in a basically abandoned building. There is a clear field of fire.
You guys are originally were at the northeast.
At the northeast, excuse me.
Juliet is at the south.
There we go. So we don't have an easy way into the building. Now, question though, do we even want to go inside the treehouse, since that kind of puts us at the center of the kill zone? Do we want to just take people out from the outside?
Certainly could.
Do we know who the leader of the spiders is?
Probably the guy that they were reported that the spy was reporting to,
And so
or they would at least have been the site commander, right?
yeah. And that's where Juliet was going to, was to the person that was on the other end of the comlink call, correct?
I believe so.
Because I'm trying to think of a way to break the siege, and I'm considering pulling in the heavy hitters, but do we just want to call Ivanov and tell her that the mining venture that she has going out here is at jeopardy because of the spiders?
No, because they're paying us to protect it, right? And if we show weakness like that, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna ditch us and bring in somebody else, or they'll just be like, "Why are we paying you when we can pay the spiders? Clearly, they're strong. Fuck off."
Like a corporation would be that cutthroat. Come on. Mr. GM, question: are there any mining access to move around the outside of the treehouse?
Maybe, I don't know. You guys have never been down there. You could ask.
Yeah, if we call her up though, I think that Horatio's right that she'll just be like, "Why do I have these idiots when I could have those idiots?" I do have a rank in
Well,
mining.
I mean,
Could I roll my mining skill
I
to
mean,
see if I figure out where it is?
yeah, it'd be fairly difficult to. You guys haven't really been down there or even over in that general area since they've got there.
I did get 3 hits on 4 dice though.
If you knew what they were looking for, it would probably be easier to tell where they were going. And if they did go underneath a treehouse or the surrounding area, they wouldn't be able to dig too close to it because you'd run the pretty high risk of everything collapsing in. But again, however, if they were using smaller tunnels or something like that, it's possible. Again, you would have to ask, but it's not like you. If they have something over there, it's not like you're asking, "Oh, hey, bail us out here." It's, "Hey, can we use what you guys already have to, help what you already have?"
Yo, Horatio, Improv, what you thinking? Should we go ask them if they got a tunnel that goes underneath this? Because I'm thinking, like, say we accidentally collapse the tunnel underneath all their cars, and all the cars go crashing into the ground. Because I'm not.
I mean, it's worth a try.
Yeah, it's worth it's worth a shot.
I'm just not sure we can man fight all these people. Because once they spot us, they're going to open up
Oh,
fire
yeah,
with
no.
everybody.
Oh yeah, no, we don't want to fight that many guys.
Cool. Well, then we will. We'll make a. Do we want to drive over there, or do we want to just call the guys at the mine? Are we?
Or just call them. We're trying to move fast, right?
All right. So then, Mr. Jim, we will give them.
I mean, if you guys agree.
How are we physically close to one of the mining locations where we could rapidly make our way over there to talk to them?
Oh yeah, they're just off to the west of you, within like 8 blocks or so. They're not very far away.
Well, I'm thinking if we drive over there, it's going to be faster than running, and I'm a little bit better at talking to people if they can, if I'm like right there in front of them. or we can just roll the dice and we can see what happens if I call him up.
All right. Buckle up, Buttercup. That means put your seatbelt on.
I do what I want.
Ain't no seatbelt laws in the 6th world.